Hey everyone! Today I've got something small but pretty familiar, a brand new spark plug. Shiny and fresh out of the box, right? Let's see what we're going to do with it in today's video. Alright, to make sure I can safely remove the core of the spark plug, I'm fixing it in place with a pair of locking pliers. This way it stays steady and won't slip while I'm working on it. Now, let's get it opened up. Alright, I've just removed the inside of the spark plug. For now, I won't be using it yet, so I'll just set it aside on the table. Let's move on to the next step. Here I've got a jar completely filled with these tiny but fascinating rivets. Now let's pop the lid open, and pick one rivet at random to start with. This rivet has a flat head for locking and a smooth shaft to go through materials. Tiny, but super strong. Now I'm fixing the rivet's head into the drill chuck. Then I'll spin it to grind the long shaft into a sharp tip. Done. The shaft is now nicely sharpened. Let's remove the rivet from the drill chuck. After sharpening the rivet's tail, it can now serve as a tiny welding tip. I'll attach it to the spark plug we hollowed out earlier. But there's still one crucial thing missing. It needs a power source to work. I've got a short piece of wire ready here. The first step is stripping off a small section of the insulation at one end. That's to get it ready for the next connection. Next, I insert the exposed copper end into the hollow space of the spark plug. Not too far in, just enough to make contact. Then I carefully fit the sharpened rivet right into that spot. To keep the rivet tip from getting loose, I'll secure it firmly using a rivet puller. That way, everything stays tight and stable. Finally, I wrap some electrical tape around the wire and the spark plug body. This keeps everything secure and adds safety while using it. If you enjoyed this idea, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Your support is the biggest motivation for me to keep making more creative videos. I've also got a piece of PVC pipe here. Let's see how I can put it to use. Now I'll measure out a section of pipe about 10 centimeters. I'll mark the spot I just measured with a marker pen. This freshly cut PVC piece will serve as the handle for our DIY welding tool. It's lightweight, well insulated, and fits nicely in the hand. When I slide the spark plug and rivet assembly into the PVC pipe, it feels a bit loose. So I'll use some hot glue to secure it in place. It's simple and keeps everything tight and stable. Honestly, the hot glue is really handy here. It's super easy to work with and keeps the spark plug and rivet assembly snug inside the PVC pipe. No complicated tools needed, and everything stays tight and stable. Next, I'll work on the other end of the wire. First, I strip off a short section of insulation to expose the copper inside. This step gets it ready for connecting the power assembly. Now I'll connect this end of the wire directly to a small alligator clip. It's quick, secure, and makes it easy to attach or remove later. And that's pretty much it, almost done. But wait, there's still one more tool we need to make this setup work perfectly. Let's see what that is. This is the second tool, a wire with small alligator clips on both ends. I've already finished one end earlier, and now I'll work on attaching the clip to the other end. These little alligator clips are super handy. The metal jaws have small teeth that grip wires or terminals tightly, and the insulated cover makes it safer and easier to handle during connections. And that's it. The second tool is now ready. Now, let's move on to the next step to bring this whole project together. For the power source, I'm using a 12V 6A battery. It's powerful enough for the test, yet still easy to handle. Now I'm clipping the alligator clip from the first tool to the positive terminal of the battery. Attach the alligator clip from the second tool to the battery's negative terminal. Everything's ready. Let's start the test. Look at that, sparks are flying. That's a good sign it's working. Now let's start welding on the metal surface and see how the tip performs. Clamp the alligator clip from the negative side onto the metal surface first. Then touch the positive welding tip to start welding. It bonds firmly. The welding works perfectly. Now I'm going to weld it solid to lock it firmly in place. I have to admit, this little DIY welding tool really surprised me. At first glance, it's just a repurposed spark plug, a sharpened rivet, some wires, and a small battery, nothing fancy. But once you start using it, you'll see that it's powerful enough to handle small, quick welding jobs with ease. Of course, it's no match for a professional welding machine, and that's perfectly fine. Think about it. In situations where you need to do a quick repair, or when you're in a place where full-size tools aren't available, this compact setup really shines. I can easily weld small metal parts, secure basic joints, or experiment with DIY projects without dragging out a bulky, expensive machine. Its biggest advantage? Portability. With just a bit of setup, some inexpensive materials, and almost zero extra cost, you've got a functional tool. Using a 12V 6A battery is safe enough for practice and delivers a stable current, giving the tip enough power to work without posing too much risk to beginners. During my tests, the tool performed really well. The sparks were steady, the weld stuck firmly to the metal surface, and with steady hands, the result was clean and strong. Another big plus is how lightweight and easy to handle it is. Thanks to the PVC pipe handle, it insulates well and feels comfortable to hold. Sure, you'll need a little bit of basic welding know-how to get the most out of it. Things like clamping the negative terminal correctly, keeping the right angle with the tip, and controlling the contact time so you don't overheat the metal. But honestly, even beginners can pick it up quickly after a few practice runs. What I love most about this project is how it inspires creativity. Look at it, from basic everyday materials, an old spark plug, a rivet, some wire, a bit of hot glue, and a PVC tube, we've built something functional, useful, and reliable for small-scale tasks. It's proof that with a little imagination, you can make tools that actually work without spending a fortune. Of course, safety first. Always wear insulated gloves, safety glasses, and keep a safe distance while working. Even at 12 volts, it's still electricity, and it needs to be treated with care. So if you enjoy practical DIY projects like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Your support is what keeps me motivated to keep experimenting, creating, and sharing even more fun and functional ideas. Who knows? In the next video, we might upgrade this mini welder into something even stronger or more versatile. What do you think of this DIY welding tool? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think.